Hey, you. Yeah, you. Welcome to the Malaka podcast.
John Travolta. Ladies and gentlemen, I just watched probably one of the most disorganized movies of my life. And that's saying a lot because for those of you who know me, I watch a lot of movies. And I got to say, this just, it makes me not want to watch movies anymore. I mean, this was just such a I don't I oh god I don't know what happened to John Travolta. I don't know. I don't know what happened. But anyways, the movie I'm talking about is The Fanatic, and it's a movie directed by Fred Durst. Let me repeat that. It's a movie directed by Fred Durst. Now, for those of you who didn't grow up in the thousands, Fred Durst, he was part of a rock rap group called Limp Bizkit. I'm not going to say I didn't listen to these guys. I mean, these guys were everywhere at one point. I mean, that Rollin' song was just all over the place. I mean, they did some cool songs with Exhibit, Method Man, Redman, DMX. I mean, those are good tracks, but I never thought in a million years this guy would eventually direct a movie. And apparently he has. Before this, he directed a movie with Ice Cube. But this movie is just. I just don't understand how a movie like this is made. I don't understand the concept. Basically, it's about a guy who obviously is a fanatic. He's obsessed with this one action hero dude. He does science fiction movies, whatever. The actor is played by the same dude who was in the Stand video by Eminem. He did all those Final Fantasy movies. I think I'm doing him a favor by not saying his name, but I mean, everything about this movie. I mean, there's one point in the movie where, I mean, like his character. I mean, I guess is, you know, a little off. I guess maybe not all there. I don't know. Maybe he's not with it. I don't know. I mean, like at one point, like he didn't know what pliers were, but then somehow he knows how to download an app and he knows how to use YouTube. So nothing really makes sense. It's just the movie is just all over the fucking place. I mean, you know, I don't get it. I don't understand how Travolta got to this point. But once again, let's go back to Wikipedia, the free encyclopedia, and find out where John Travolta started. I mean, like even the haircut in the movie, it's just it doesn't make any sense. It looks like I, it's kind of like a. I don't know what to make of it. I really don't. I'm really stunned. I just watched the movie and I don't get it. I don't understand how shit like this happens. But anyways, John Joseph Travolta, born February 18th, 1954, is an American actor, film producer, dancer, and singer. Travolta rose to fame during the 1970s, appearing on the television series Welcome Back, Kotter from 1975 to 1979, and starring in the box office successes Saturday Night Fever, 1977, and Grease, 1978. His acting career declined through the 1980s, but enjoyed a resurgence in the 1990s with his role in Pulp Fiction, 1994. And he has since starred in films such as Get Shorty, 1995, Broken Arrow, 1996, Face Off, 1997, Swordfish, 2001, Be Cool, 2005, Wild Hogs, 2007, Hairspray, 2007, Bolt, 2008, and The Taking of Penham 123, 2009. Ladies and gentlemen, the names of the movies I just mentioned, I can maybe recommend, let's see here. We got 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll call 4 movies I can recommend out of that, but we'll get to that in a little bit. Travolta was nominated for the Academy Award for Best Actor for performances in Saturday Night Fever and Pulp Fiction. He won his first and only Golden Globe Award for Best Actor in a Motion Picture, Musical, or Comedy. I'd just like to stop for a second. I've been a movie fan for years. This is something that's always pissed me off. I don't understand why musical and comedy are grouped in the same category. It's two completely different worlds. Just want to put that out there, guys. I don't know if you can't tell the difference between a musical and comedy. Okay. For his performance in Get Shorty, and has received a total of 6 nominations. The most recent being in 2011. In 2010, he received the IIFI Award for Outstanding Achievement in International Cinema. In 2016, Travolta received his first Primetime Emmy Award as a producer on the first season of the anthology series American Crime Story, subtitled The People vs. O.J. Simpson. He also received an additional Emmy nomination and a Golden Globe nomination for his portrayal of lawyer Robert Shapiro in the series. So as you can see, John Travolta has had quite the career. I mean, he's been doing it since the 1970s. You know, he's come up with some good stuff. You know, it was going down for a bit, did Pulp Fiction, went up for a bit, and then it's just, I guess, kind of, you know, a couple films here and there that were good, and just, I don't know what happened, guys. I don't get it, because the guy's got, you know, charisma. You know, I think so. I like to think he does. You know, like you see him in his earlier roles. I mean, you know, he's got the talent. It's just sometimes I don't know, he does these weird pictures, and I don't know, maybe he just thinks, okay, you know, I did this movie, now I gotta do something completely different, and then I gotta act completely different in this movie, and I don't know, maybe him and Nicolas Cage got together and said, let's just, you know, do this for the paycheck. I don't know what the fuck is going on. I don't understand this. I don't know. I don't understand. I don't get it. Moving on. Travolta is the youngest of 6 children and was born and raised in Inglewood, New Jersey, an inner ring suburb of Bergen County, New Jersey. His father, Salvatore Travolta, November 1912 to May 1995, he was a semi-professional American football player, turned tire salesman and partner in a tire company. His mother, Helen Cecilia, January 18th, 1912 to December 1978, was an actress and singer who had appeared in the Sunshine Sisters, a radio vocal group, and acted and directed before becoming a high school drama and English teacher. His siblings, Joey, Ellen, Anne, Margaret, and Sam Travolta, were all inspired by their mother's love of theater and drama and acted. His father was second-generation Italian-American with roots in Godrano, Sicily, and his mother was Irish-American. He grew up in an Irish-American neighborhood and said that his household was predominantly Irish in culture. He was raised Roman Catholic, but converted to Scientology in 1975. Travolta attended Dwight Morrow High School, but dropped out as a junior at 17 in 1971. So right there, it's got to be tough. I mean, if you're the youngest of 6 kids, you're definitely looking for attention. That's not a knock on him, don't get me wrong, because I know a couple people that are always the youngest and they're always looking for that, sort of attention. So I get that, On top of that, his dad seems like a pretty strong dude, American football player, you got to be tough. And his mom, had a lot of talent. So I can completely understand why he would want to become an actor. But what I don't understand is why anybody would want the lead role in The Fanatic. Oh, again, guys, I encourage anybody to see movies. I even encourage someone to see this movie. But don't see this movie thinking it's going to be a good movie. See it because you know what not to do in your acting or directing career. You really have to. I mean, there's parts of this movie I just laughed. I mean, I don't know if it was meant to be funny, but it just made me laugh. I was just trying to, the whole thing with like method acting. Okay, like you get lost in your role. I get that, but there's got to be a part in it where it makes sense. I mean, like when you do a role, I just couldn't figure out what his character was supposed to be. I assume he had some kind of disability. The haircut, the Hawaiian shirts, that's a dead giveaway. I get that. But it's actually funny that I'm reviewing this movie now, and last night I watched for the first time The Pope in Greenwich Village. And, like Eric Roberts, I always feel that guy's a very underrated actor. I mean, sometimes he acts a little kooky in his roles, Like in the movie I watched yesterday, he was a little over the top, being the Italian guy, very neurotic, But I don't know, for some reason, it worked. I mean, there were times where, yeah, okay, it definitely went overboard, I'm not saying I was offended as an Italian, but, it was just kind of funny. I don't know. I mean, you just can't help but to laugh. But, it was still good. It was still entertaining. Like, I could still see what he was trying to do, like, Charlie, they took my thumb. They took my thumb, Charlie. But anyways, sorry, I had to do it. But yeah, I don't know this role. Like I don't know, I don't know what to fucking make of this. I don't know what happened. Is this the same dude we saw in Pulp Fiction? Get Shorty, Face Off, even. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. But he did marry Kelly Preston in 1991, which I don't know, in many ways might have been the smartest move ever, because she's a really beautiful woman, for sure. She's pretty cool. He's had some tragedy in his life as well. I know he lost his son, at a very young age, and, my heart goes out to him for that. It really does, honestly. And, nobody should go through that shit. I mean, that's just crazy, and, my heart goes out to him there, like I said, and it's hard to recover from something like that. Like, it really is, and I know he is technically considered a private pilot. He owns 4 airplanes apparently, and isn't that kind of weird though? Like, I mean, like at the end of the one movie Grease, where they're like flying away into the car, and then like later on he becomes a pilot. I mean, like, is there any like connection there? Like, I always wonder what happened there. I mean, like, did they die, or I don't know, I'm getting ahead of myself. But the point is, like, he's been through a lot of shit in his life, and I'm sure gas is extremely expensive for an aircraft, and sometimes you just gotta do what you got to do to pay the bills. I get that. And, it just gets to a certain point where in certain actors' lives where they're just like, you know what, I'm just going to do this role. It looks interesting. But then, the result may be shit. It may be good. Like, you don't know. Something looks good on paper. You don't know. You're like, fuck it. Who cares? Worst case, I get paid, Even a guy like Marlon Brando. I mean, like, he admitted, he's done tons of movies, just for the money. He admitted that. But it is what it is, I guess. And there's always been this rumor that John Travolta might be gay or whatever, and then there was that sexual allegation there in May 2012 where the guy giving him a massage, he, claimed harassment on him, and there's something about like $12,000 or something being offered, and I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I mean, you never know, And then you see that picture of him coming off the plane there and kissing a guy there, and I don't know, was that photoshopped? Like, who knows? I don't know. Like you never know anything in this world, I don't know what women have real asses anymore. I mean, you just don't know. I mean, I'm here to talk more about his career and like how did everything lead up to this insanely shitty movie that is called The Fanatic. Like I said before, the movie is directed by Fred Durst, and there's even a point in the movie where the one guy he's stalking, he's in the car with his kid, and he's like, "Oh yeah, let's listen to some Limp Bizkit. Oh yeah, this is great. Oh yeah, I used to listen to this all the time." And I'm like, "Really, Durst? Really, man? You're gonna just really you had to put that in there, eh? Like we know who you are, dude. And you didn't play one of the good songs either. You played some random song. I've never even heard of that song, but anyways, let's just see where John Travolta started, and let's see if we can just make sense of this. Now, according to IMDb, his very first job that he did was on a TV series in 1972 called Emergency. I've never heard of it. I was born in 1982, so this is way ahead of my time. Seems like he did a bunch of TV shows before hitting the movie career here. Owen Marshall, Counselor at Law, The Rookies, Nightmare, Medical Center, The Devil's Reign, The 10th Level, Mr. T and Tina. No, it's not the Mr. T you're thinking of. I looked it up. And his first big movie was Carrie in 1976. I completely forgot he was in this. I mean, maybe he was one of the friends or something. No, he played Billy Nolan. Yeah, I don't even remember him in this movie. But classic movie. Check it out regardless. Then he was in a TV movie called The Boy in the Plastic Bubble, which came out in 1976. The girl next door makes a teen born with immune deficiencies want to leave his germ-free bubble. Well, I'm not going to lie to you, it didn't get the best rating, and unless George Costanza's in it, no thanks. Moors! Moops! Moors! Moops! Now, the next movie he did basically kicked off his career. The classic 1977 Saturday Night Fever.
Well, you can tell by the beat I just my walk. I'm a woman's man. No time to talk. In and out.
Anyways, where did you go when the record is over? That was the tagline for the movie. And I'm not going to lie to you. For years, I avoided seeing this movie. I thought it was just about dancing and all that, whatever. But it's actually a pretty good movie. I mean, it's kind of a coming of age movie, and there's some serious subjects in it. I don't want to give a lot away, but it's definitely worth checking out for sure. And what's funny is I do have to mention this eventually. I might as well just mention it now. When I'm watching this movie, I know recently John Travolta has said, you know what, I'm bald. I'm not going to wear wigs anymore. Or, if I do, I'm wearing a wig. I don't give a shit, blah, 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 whatever. So when I'm watching this movie, I'm wondering, is this a wig or is this his real hair? When did he start to lose it? I don't understand it, Because, there's that famous part in, the beginning of the movie. He's prepping up, he's becoming the whole, Gino. I don't know, he's, dressing in the white suit like Tubbs. And, he's just, eating pasta and meatballs before going to the disco, like most of, the Italians do. And, his dad, tries to touch his hair, and he's like, "Oh, just watch the hair, And I'm wondering, is that real hair? I mean, like, was there a scene before that where he just kind of popped it on there like a hat, or I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Looks good though, you know. It looks better than what he looked like before. I mean, I see him in some shots in the past where he literally looks like Astro Boy. So, but anyways, and here's another big movie that came out in 1978 called Grease. Now, uh, again, it's kind of a musical slash acting movie, whatever, you know, a bunch of guys in high school. I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you, it's not really my cup of tea, but you know, it was a huge popular movie, you know, and he got the main role once again, and yeah, his career just kept going. Funny fact, though, is Henry Winkler, who played the Fonz on Happy Days, of course. He's actually killing it right now in the show Barry with him and Bill Hader. Check that out. But anyways, he was offered the role first, and yeah, he to this day still regrets it. Yeah. Hey, man, you never know what's gonna happen. Some things are just meant to be. And then Travolta did a moment by moment movie. Wow, this movie got a horrible rating on IMDb, 2.9 out of 10. Wow, I've never even heard of it. Okay. Welcome Back, Kotter. You know, he was I forgot to mention that before. Well, I did mention it before, but I mean, you know, he was doing that, you know, during this whole time too, and you know, of course, that was a popular show, and there you go. You know, it was about a guy named Vinnie Barino, and you know, he was in class, you know, doing a whole bunch of crazy shit. I guess, I don't know. Again, I was born in '82, guys. I don't know. Like, I'm just judging by the picture here. You know, it looked like they all had a good time there. You know, with their long hair and afros. You know, looked like a good time here. What does it say here? Compassionate teacher returns to his inner city high school of his youth to teach a new generation of troublemaking kids. Oh boy. So it's basically a comedic version of To Serve with Love. Okay, got it. What else we got here? Urban Cowboy. Okay. First of all, I'm not sure how urban John Travolta is, but let's check it out here. Bud is a young man from the country who learns about life and love in a Houston bar. Okay. I've never seen this movie. I was told a lot of people liked it, a lot of people hated it. Yeah. Blowout. Now, this movie is very interesting, and I'll tell you why. This is a movie that is one of Quentin Tarantino's favorite movies of all time. He saw John Travolta in this movie, and after he saw him in this movie, he always wanted to work with him. Hence, that's why he was in Pulp Fiction. Writer-director Brian De Palma, can't lose there. Stars, obviously John Travolta, Nancy Allen, and John Lithgow. I just want to say this. John Lithgow is a very funny guy, but whenever he plays like a serious role or a bad guy, he always kicks ass. He's one of these actors, I don't know, for some reason, like, I feel he's just a better bad guy than good guy. I don't know why. Like, I've seen him in roles like Dexter and this movie and Cliffhanger. I mean, I don't know, he just puts on that face and it just works. I just want to throw that in there. So the movie is about a movie sound recordist accidentally records the evidence that proves that a car accident was actually a murder, and coincidentally finds himself in danger. Ladies and gentlemen, I definitely recommend this movie. This is definitely one of his best roles he's done, but overall it's a great movie too. It's a good thriller, so when you got a chance, check it out. Next movie he came out with was Staying Alive, which is basically the sequel to Saturday Night Fever, and the director was Sylvester Stallone. I never saw this movie. It didn't get very good reviews. Is it worth checking out? I don't know. I guess if you're a fan of the old one, check out the newer one, I guess. I don't know. More dancing, maybe? I don't know. Who knows? Came out with another movie called Two of a Kind. I never saw that one either. Another movie called Perfect with Jamie Lee Curtis. Never saw that one either. These movies are not getting good reviews, by the way. Basements, TV movie. Never heard of it either. Michael Jackson, Liberian Girl. Okay. The Experts. Never heard of this one either. Yeah, these movies, man, they're getting some not good ratings, man. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, nothing's over a 5 here. Okay, here we go. So 1989, he started making Look Who's Talking. Now, I'm not gonna lie. When I saw this, I thought it was a funny movie. I mean, it's about a baby that can talk, but he can't really talk. You're just seeing what the baby can say, and it kind of revived his career a little bit. I mean, you know, I thought it was funny. I mean, the first one anyway. I mean, Bruce Willis was the voice of the baby, and yeah, I thought it was all right. I mean, I'm not saying it's a work of art or a, comedic masterpiece, but it's good for a cheap laugh, I guess. Chains of Gold. Again, never heard of it. Wow, these are okay. Okay, so then he made Look Who's Talking 2, playing off the success off the last one, of course, This one, they got, I think, Roseanne to do the voice, right? Yeah. Yeah. Same thing. Just, babies talking and, making us laugh. That's it. Eyes of an Angel. God, I haven't heard of any of these movies. I don't know. All right. Shout. Never heard of that one either. Okay. Boris and Natasha. It's a TV movie. Okay. Okay. Maybe you just made a little quick appearance in this. Okay. Look Who's Talking Now. Okay. Yep, that's right. They made 3 of these movies. Now, with this one, they had the dogs talking. Okay, because I don't know. I guess they were just sick of having kids. I guess, and they just had the dogs talking, and Dane DeVito was one of the dogs. Diane Keaton was the other dog, and Charles Barkley's in it, and he plays himself. All right. Now, this is where it gets serious. This is where your life changes. This is where finally John Travolta does a good movie again. And the movie is called Pulp Fiction. All I'm going to say is this, guys. If you've never seen Pulp Fiction, I'll forgive you. Stop the podcast right now. Go out and see it. It's easily one of my top 5 movies of all time. It's one of my favorite movies. I think it's the best one Quentin Tarantino has done. It's just an awesome movie. I don't want to even say anything, what the movie's about. I'll just say this. He plays a character called Vincent Vega, and it's supposed to be the brother of Mr. Yellow from Reservoir Dogs. That movie never happened because apparently they wanted to make a movie with the brothers. That never ended up happening. But still, this movie just kicks ass. I mean, this is one of the coolest movies I've ever seen in my life. And he plays a hitman, and he's teamed up with Samuel Jackson, who's got the most kick-ass fro you've ever seen in a movie. The juice is fresh off the cut. I mean, it's awesome. It really is. And, it showed that, yeah, again, Travolta can actually act. I mean, you know, it's just amazing. I mean, I can't say enough good things about it. I mean, you got to check it out, That is if you haven't already seen it. And apparently, like I said before, he was in the movie Blowout years before that. Quentin Tarantino saw him in that. And Michael Madison was originally supposed to play Vincent, but that never happened. I think he wanted to do another movie. And I heard a story where he convinced Travolta, like over the phone, like for 6-7 hours, just talking to him and just reading him the script and just trying to convince him to do the role. So I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't know what took Travolta so long to say yes to this, but believe me, I'm sure he and his accountants are very happy that he did. So it's definitely one of the best roles he's ever done. Check it out right now. I'll wait. No, I'm not gonna wait. I'm gonna keep going. But it's an awesome movie. Next movie he did was White Man's Burden. Okay, so we had a very high peak there with Pulp Fiction. We seem to be going back down again. Okay, I do remember that movie. I don't think it was that popular. I don't know. Get Shorty. Now, this is a kick-ass movie. I'm not gonna lie. It was praised by a lot of critics. He plays a guy named Chili Palmer, and he's basically just knock-around guy for the mafia, and he's got to go collect some payments. He's got to go all the way from, I think, New York to LA, whatever. And, he starts to like the atmosphere of LA. He's a big fan of movies anyway. He runs into a director played by Gene Hackman. And, they kind of, swap this idea where, everything that John Travolta's character is going through in real life, make it into a movie. And it's got a great cast of people. Danny DeVito's in it. Rene Russo's in it. A bunch of other people are in it. Even James Gandolfini's in it. It's a great movie. It's got a great story. Definitely check that one out as well. And then, then he did Broken Arrow, which, I guess it was Broken. I never understood the title for this movie, Broken Arrow. It's funny, like one time I was talking to a friend of mine, and he knows I love tons of movies, and I just asked him. I said, like, what's your favorite movie? And like with a straight face, he said Broken Arrow, and I remember laughing my ass off, because I was like, really? This was, okay. I mean, Broken Arrow, Christian Slater. It's I forget what the movie's about. I don't know. It involves a train or something. I don't know. I don't care. Phenomenon. This movie was not phenomenal at all. I wasn't feeling it. I don't know. It was something to do with him being an angel or something. And Michael. That's the name of the movie. He played Michael. Oh, no, you know what? No, this one he played an angel. Wait, so what the hell was the point of the other one? I don't know, whatever. She's So Lovely. I never heard of this movie either. Sean Penn, Robin Wright. No, never heard of it. I never heard of it. Face Off. There we go. Okay, so let me paint the picture here. So, in the mid-90s, Nicolas Cage was the shit. I mean, he did some really cool movies. He did Face Off with Travolta. He did The Rock. He did a couple other ones. The point is, this movie kicks some serious ass. This is just a great action flick. Now, the whole concept of this movie is that the Nicolas Cage character, he's playing a bad guy, and Travolta's playing a good guy, and he always wanted to get this bad guy because he killed his kid by accident. He meant to kill him, and then he finally gets him. Cage is in a coma, and then to find out his plans because he's in a coma and he can't fucking respond, he literally has to take his face off. So he takes this procedure, whatever, and he switches bodies and faces and the voice, of Nicolas Cage, and I could eat a peach for hours. And, it's just a kick-ass movie. It's directed by John Woo, so a whole bunch of shit is going to get blown up. Yeah, it's a great movie. I mean, don't go in there and, think, I'm losing the plot here. Just go in there. You like a good action movie. It's awesome.
Well, if you're Sean Archer, I guess I'm Castor Troy.
And Travolta even makes fun of his own chin. He's got one of those chins that has like a hole in it, where you can like blow your nose and wipe your ass at the same time. It's awesome. But this is a great movie. Highly recommend it. Sit back
and enjoy the ride.
You good looking. Mad City. I sort of remember this movie, but not really. Primary Colors. Now, I remember this movie just because I just assumed he was doing an impersonation of like Bill Clinton. I actually remember seeing this movie at the Eaton Center. For those of you who grew up in Toronto, at the time they had a theater, and it was basically, these theaters were nothing special. They were very small. Literally, you paid $2, if you could believe it, a shiny toonie, just to go see these movies. And as cheap as we would pay toonie for one movie, and we would sneak into the other 2-3 movies or whatever we could, get our hands on. We didn't give a shit. It's just him doing Bill Clinton, basically. I did not have sexual relations with that woman. Oh, that's great. Welcome to Hollywood. I don't remember this one either. Welcome to Hollywood. I got nothing. Okay. The Thin Red Line. Okay, this movie I do remember. This is actually a pretty good movie. I just forgot that John Travolta was in it. He was in this, really? Where is he? He's not even in the... He's on the credits. I don't see him here. Maybe he narrated it. I don't know. They do that sometimes with people. I don't know. They put them on here. They narrate it, and then they count as a credit, I guess. I don't know. It's a good movie. I just can't tell you for sure if he's in it. A Civil Action. Sort of remember the movie poster. Never saw it. All right. Our Friend Martin. It's a video. It's about Martin Luther King. It's a cartoon. He loaned his voice towards that. Never saw it. The General's Daughter. I sort of remember this movie. Didn't see it. Maybe it's good. Maybe it's not. I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't know. I can't tell you. Here we go. Battlefield Earth. Now, these are one of these movies that I've heard is just absolutely horrible. I've never seen it. Okay, I've seen bits and parts here and there. Apparently, he had a lot of involvement in this movie. It was supposed to be kind of like the next big thing with technology, and I don't know, man. All these guys, I don't know. They looked like Rastas for some reason. I don't know what this movie's about. I don't know. Let's see what it says here. It says, it's the year 3000 AD. The Earth is lost to an alien race of Close, because there's an L in there, so whatever. Humanity is enslaved by these gold-thirsty tyrants whom are unaware that their man-animals are about to ignite the rebellion of a lifetime. Whew. I don't know about you. I don't know what's more scary, this or the makeup. It's weird, man. Look, he's got like shit coming out of his nose. I don't know, and yet he still keeps the goatee. It's weird. I don't know. Like I don't. All right, 2.5 out of 10. Oof, wow. Okay. Yeah, let's just move on. Lucky numbers. I was not lucky enough to see it. He showed up on the Drew Carey show as Vinny Barino. Barbarino. Yeah. I like the Drew Carey show. It's a good show. Check it out. Swordfish. This movie's all right. I mean, I don't know, like it's one of those movies where you feel if they put more into the story, it could have been really good. Like it's more one of those movies that's like meant to be chic, cool, whatever. But I mean, it's decent, you know. Halle Berry's in it, and yeah, we most people saw it for Halle Berry. You know why? You perverts. Domestic Disturbance. I actually do remember this movie. This was the time where Vince Vaughn was still doing like dramatic roles, and I as a kind of the movie kind of had like a made for TV kind of vibe to it. Yeah, Austin Powers in Goldmember. He was in this. It says John Travolta, famous Goldmember, Austin Pussy. Huh. I don't remember. Basic. That's the name of the movie. Basic. Yeah, it was kind of a big deal because I think again they were teamed up together, him and Samuel Jackson. It was no Pulp Fiction. Let's just put it to you like that. The Punisher. Oh shit. Ladies and gentlemen, you gotta understand, you know, this whole craze of superhero movies, you know, the last, 20 years. A couple shitty ones came out there. The Punisher was one of them. He basically played the main bad guy in this movie. And, you know, sometimes when you watch a movie, you just see a person in the movie, and it's just a Hollywood move to put him in the movie. You know, it's no disrespect to the actor or nothing like that. It's just, you know, it's like you put someone in there because you know they have a little bit of star power, and yeah, it just didn't work, man. I mean, the movie itself, you know, him as the bad guy, so yeah. A love song for Bobby Long. Wasn't that the name of the character in The Waterboy? No. Actually got a pretty decent rating, 7.1 out of 10. A headstrong young woman returns to New Orleans after the death of her estranged mother. I never heard of it. Got a good rating though. Check it out, I guess. Ladder 49. I enjoyed this movie. It's got Joaquin Phoenix in it. It's just basically about firefighters, you know. He plays the main chief, Travolta, and he's you know, schooling Mr. Phoenix there on all the stuff there in the firehouse, and you know what it takes to be a fireman, all that good stuff. So I thought it was a pretty decent movie, you know. I still feel Backdraft is better, but you know, Ladder 49, it's all right. Be Cool. I don't know. I mean, this movie was basically the sequel to Get Shorty. I wasn't feeling it. I'm sorry. I don't know. It just wasn't as good. The Rock was funny in it. I'll give him that. Vince Vaughn plays a pimp. He's funny in it. And that's those are the main points. Magnificent Distillation, Walking on the Moon 3D documentary short. Okay, you played the voice. Okay. You know what? When you're an actor, you get these voiceover jobs. If the movie's good, bad, doesn't matter. You know, hopefully it's good, you know. But either way, it's a nice little paycheck, so why not? Lonely Hearts. I never heard of this movie. Salma Hayek's in it. Can't be that bad. Wild Hogs. Now, this is just a movie where you got nothing else to do one day, and it's just a good chuckle. That's all. There's nothing serious about this movie. It's just four dudes. They want to become a motorcycle gang, and you know, it's cool. It's all right. Hairspray. It's one of my deepest regrets. I've never seen this movie, and Travolta plays a woman called Edna Turnbland, and she basically looks like if Betty Boop let herself go. And yeah, okay. Bolt. Once again, loaning out his voice. Animated movie. Could be good. The Taking of Pelham 123. Now, this is a remake of the original movie. I didn't like this version, I'm not going to lie. Like Denzel, but was not a fan of this movie. I'm sorry. My advice to you is just see the original one. It's all good. Old Dogs. Once again, guys, when you look at a movie poster, sometimes you could just tell how shitty a movie will be. And the sad thing is, when you look at some movie posters, even the actors have a look saying, it's cool if you don't see this. I got some money for it. It's good. The movie's out there. If you want it for background noise while you're vacuuming, that's cool. Love Robin Williams. Don't get me wrong, but he looks sad as fuck on the poster. Maybe it's part of his character. I don't know. I'm never gonna see it. Even the dog doesn't look that happy. So I'm sure. From Paris with Love. I actually remember this movie. This movie wasn't that bad, actually. It had some good action in it. Wasn't bad. I don't know. It was all right. I mean, nothing spectacular, but, it's all right. You got nothing else to do? Check it out. Sure. Savages. This movie, again, decent. The best person in this movie, by far, was Benicio del Toro's character. I'll say it before and I'll say it again. He's always been one of my favorite actors. Even in a not so good movie, he always delivers. I almost feel like you could have made the movie just based on that character. But I don't know. Killing Season. You know what? I can't believe that we're living in an age now where if this was years ago, if Travolta and Robert De Niro were in a movie together, it'd be like one of the biggest things out there. I mean, this came out in 2013. Nobody gave a shit. I mean, I hate to say that, but it didn't get a good rating either. Fuck, man, what's going on here? He was in a TV series called Kirsty in an episode. Never heard of it. The Forger. Never heard of that one either. Are all these movies going straight to video? Like, what's going on here? I've never heard of any of these. Life on the Line. Okay. Criminal Activities. All right. In a Valley of Violence. Seems to be about cowboys, maybe. I don't know. Now, as I talked about before, he was in American Crime Story in the first season, The People vs. O.J. Simpson, and he played Robert Shapiro. I thought he did a great job. This is actually a great series. Every season they deal with a different topic that happened in the criminal justice system, a big case that came up. I thought he was great in this. So definitely check that out. I Am Raft. You know, it's funny. Like again, when you look at some of these movie posters, I mean, you look at this one, and it looks like it's just photoshopped like to shit. I mean, like his hair. It looks like it was just drawn on by. Fuck, man. Anyways, oh shit, gaudy. Oh god. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, you know, I was telling you before about the Fanatic, and watch it, you'll have a good laugh, maybe, and you know, whatever. Gaudy, there's nothing redeeming about this one. If you can imagine this, once again, the guy who directed this is Kevin Connolly. If you don't know who he is, he played Eric in Entourage, and I didn't mind Entourage. I mean, I wish they took the show a little bit more seriously, you know. I mean, it was kind of, you know, douchey at times, whatever, but I don't know, whatever. I still enjoyed it. I don't know. Movie, not so much. But, yeah, he directed this movie. I don't, man, I don't, I think Travolta is just thinking, you know what, if I do a movie with these guys, then, and if it takes off, then, you know, I look like the hero, like I discovered these guys, or I brought them to the light, or whatever. But, you know, at the same time, I mean, the movie's got to be solid anyway. I mean, you know, a lot of people mentioned it just wasn't accurate, and I don't know, like even his kid in the movie, they put on glasses, and so apparently it's supposed to make him look older, and then Travolta, I don't know, he doesn't look right, and I don't know, the slang's off, the fighting's off, where's the food, and I don't know, man. You know, and then Pitbull for some reason did the soundtrack. I got nothing against Pitbull, I really don't, Dale, but come on, something's got to give, man. I mean, oh, okay, we're almost done, guys. Don't worry. Speed Kills. No, that's the name of the movie. Okay. It's about speedboats. All right. Yeehaw! Trading paint. Race cars, maybe. Race cars on fire. More wigs. Okay. The Poison Rose. Oh, wow. It's a movie he did with Morgan Freeman. And I've never heard of it. Huh. I don't know, man. Okay. Anyways. Oh, and speak of Pitbull, he did a music video for him. All right, that's, yeah, cool. And then his latest picture, like I mentioned before, about several million, couple times maybe, The Fanatic. And his name, for some reason, in the movie is Moose. It's never explained why, you know. I mean, I'm not even. I mean, I'm offended by that name. Not because I'm Canadian, but just because it doesn't go anywhere. I don't know. Maybe it's. Maybe his name's Bruce and they misheard it. I don't know. He's friends with seems to be a woman, maybe in her mid-20s, late 20s in the movie. That's never explained. Fred Durst is doing these little sketches in between scenes, and just nothing makes sense, man. Like, the ending doesn't make any sense, and the whole movie really doesn't make any sense. It's just a fucking mess, man. And you watch this movie and you're like, you know, again, I've never seen Battlefield Earth, but I mean, like, there's no way it's worse than this. I mean, it really blows your mind, because, you know, you think, okay, you reach a certain status in your career, and, you know, I've even heard, like, John Travolta's part of the Academy Awards board there, you know, so, you know, he's a movie star. He's a definitive movie star, you know. I've always said that, like, if you can make 5 movies, like 5 really good movies, like, you will be known. But if you can make 10 really good movies in your career, you're a legend. And Travolta, for the most part, he's almost at 10, I guess. But at the same time, like he's, like, and I wasn't he part of Planet Hollywood for a bit too? I don't know, maybe. Who knows? But I'm just saying, like, he's reached a certain status where he doesn't have to do this shit. Like I just don't understand why actors just do this. And from what I've read here for all these movies, and I don't know, it seems like 60% of them I've never even heard of, is, he does like to take chances. But when you take a chance, I mean, you got to make sure it's a decent chance, and it could end up being something good. I mean, you don't want to just go in there and say, hey, worst case scenario, I get my money. And I'm sure, like I said before, I'm sure a lot of actors do that. But, it's a shame, man. Like, it really is. Like, because he's come out with some classics. And I just want to know, like, why? Like, why are you bothering with these movies? Okay, like, I get it. Like, you're not going to get a Pulp Fiction or Get Shorty script every time. But, I mean... I mean, there's got to be some kind of line, no? I mean, I don't know. I remember one point John Travolta said in an interview, he said, like, when he started to get famous, he would always go to this restaurant, and he went to the restaurant, and then the guy told him, hey, look, man, you're becoming famous, I like you in whatever movie, and from now on, whenever you come here, you can always eat for free. And like he would always envision like himself, I mean, kind of jokingly, or maybe even seriously, who knows? And like he would just be, he's like, worst case scenario, like I get to eat for free for the rest of my life. I don't got to worry about food, and like. It's cool just like hearing that, because like you think to yourself like, okay, like, I made it. I did some good work, and, I've gotten recognized for it, and, hopefully I get to keep doing that, But I guess you get to a certain point where, I don't know, maybe you just don't care, and you just want to focus more on, putting gas in your 4 planes, I guess. I mean, and keeping that up, but, I don't know, man. I just don't get it. I mean, like, even my parents, like, they would talk about Saturday Night Fever, and, I mean, that was a huge movie for them. And, like I said before, it was a very, coming of age movie. And, like, I understand it, and, again, as an actor, like, you really just want to keep challenging yourself. And I'm sure by doing a lot of these roles, like, maybe he feels he is challenging himself, like doing something different, and but it's not good different. It's just it's just shit, man. I'm sorry to say that, like it really is, and I just want to see the old Travolta back, man. Like the guy that was just like kind of a suave, cool dude, who was very chill, and I don't know, he always seemed to have this like personality where, he would just get along with everyone, and, just very go with the flow kind of, and, like I said before, man, Pulp Fiction, I mean, that's a classic. That's an absolute classic, I didn't mean to shoot Marvin in the face. I'm sure you didn't, Travolta. I'm sure you didn't. But what I'm sure of is that these shitty movies have to stop. Okay, it seems like you're gonna keep going with your career, regardless. You're just gonna keep making movies. That's fine, I get it. We all gotta make a living. We all got families to support. I get it. It's a rough business, this movie business. Like you said in Get Shorty. And I know it's just a movie, I get it. But you know what, man? You could be that dude. I'm not saying you gotta be a mafioso type of guy, because like I said, there is no mafia. But you have the control to be that number one movie star again. And all I want to say one day is, welcome back. John Travolta.